the way government kind of hasn't changed in a while. People are kind of interested in going on our own path.
Yeah, I'm going to be voting no. It doesn't make sense. I like being Canadian.
Do you think Alberta and Saskatchewan would be better off as independent countries?
Journalism commentary
1 year anniversary. I don't believe journalism being funded by the government is the solution.
to rebuild the foundation.
You have to retell the stories.
Market conservative
Other news that actually matters.
I hence wanted to ask, do you think they should answer their questions, especially if they're politically charged with?
There is undeniably a growing independence movement in Alberta that I don't think is getting enough attention in the media. So as a journalist, I thought I would fly out to Calgary this week to cover this movement, see what's going on, get a better sense of what is going on here at the ground level. And I also wanted to get some perspectives that have not been reflected or covered accurately in the legacy media. And one angle that I think we have not heard a lot about, if any, is what young Albertans think about the independence movement. So I went to a college in Calgary, the Southern Alberta Institute of Technology, to ask students what they think of independence. So without further ado, here are the conversations we had. What interests me and why I came out to Alberta is there's a separatist movement in the province. And I want to see amongst young people, is this something that is gaining traction in your friend group, in your classes? Are people talking about wanting to leave Canada?
I mean, you got some people talking about, economically and geographically, it doesn't really make sense for you to leave. Like, are you talking about us joining America or just leaving and becoming an independent?
Either one or the other, like, because both involve leaving Canada at the end of the day.
No, I don't really agree with it. I mean, this doesn't make sense. Economically, we'll be kind of trapped between Canada, and then trade will be a little weird and wonky. But I mean, if people think it's good, then yeah, it works. But
So if there's a referendum, you will vote no.
yeah, I'm going to be voting no. It doesn't make sense. I like being Canadian. If I become American, I mean, healthcare is great. Maybe it's not the greatest, but it's still free. But
I don't know where I kind of stand with it. I love to be a Canadian, but I don't really like the current economical kind of situation we're in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'd like to give it a shot and kind of see from there. But yeah, it is talked about quite a bit.
Like on social media, I've heard like a bunch of people like say that they want to like get involved with the separatist movement, but like I haven't like encountered anybody exactly about it. So no, to be frank, like I know like about it. I've seen like about a lot of people like while driving around the city. There's like about a lot of people talking like having stands and stuff, but like yeah, not really anyone around my circle talks about it that much.
And what do you think of that idea? Do you think Alberta would be better off as its own country, or?
I mean, I'd say I don't really know much, but like I'd say probably not, because Alberta, yes, it has like a bunch of like it really is dependent on like a lot of oil, and it's really good for like Canada itself. But if you're talking about like Canada being its own country, I don't think it would like work, since it's only independent with oil, not with other resources and stuff. So I don't think it would work.
People I've talked to have all told me that they do not want Alberta to be taken out of Canada, because with the Blackfoot tribes, you have to like, they're literally, if you look at all the treaties, they're scoured out between Alberta, Saskatchewan, like literally everywhere. And so you literally have to ask the treaties,
The First Nations, the people.
Yeah, you have to ask the First Nations chiefs if they can literally do that. Even if they do manage to get all those petitions signed, I don't think it's going to do anything, because that's going to violate treaty laws. And I don't want that either, because I'm literally Native. And even if Alberta does, no, let me rephrase that. Even if Alberta does manage to get apart, like leave Canada, they're going to have to make up a whole new currency, a whole new leader, like everything above that. they can't use like the Canadian bills and all that as their own currency anymore.
So I'm assuming it's safe to say like you do not support Alberta
No.
separating Canada.
I am 100 against that.
In your classes, in your friend group, is the idea of separation something that's popular or something people are interested in?
I would say so, yeah. I think just the way government kind of hasn't changed in a while, people are kind of interested in going on our own path, like, because, housing's kind of crazy, so people want to be able to afford a house and stuff like that, yeah. I know I'm not too into politics, I kind of try and stay away from it,
Yeah.
but obviously you can't really avoid stuff like that, hearing about it, so yeah, I'd say it's kind of gaining traction though, yeah.
And you personally, is it like if there was a referendum, would you vote yes or no to leave Canada?
I don't know. It's a tough one. I probably would vote, yeah, to separate, but I don't know. It's a tough one, yeah.
On campus, does it seem to be a popular idea with young people?
No, I haven't seemed to see anything on campus here.
And is that, like you said, you're from Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan's also the West. Do you think Alberta and Saskatchewan would be better off as independent countries?
I'm not really sure. I haven't really looked into it at all, so I can't say.
I don't know exactly how big it is, but it is definitely something that is being talked about amongst like my parents, though. But yeah, that's I notice it more amongst the older generation. So yeah,
That's very interesting. And you personally, like, is that a movement or an idea that appeals to you? Do you think Alberta would be better off as its own country?
maybe not its own country. There are some things that I can understand with it, like the separatist movement, but there are other things where even if Alberta did separate, I don't exactly know it would be the greatest decision. But there are things that I think the separatists could probably fight for, for Alberta to have more freedoms, I guess, because more of the whole problem of the separatists is that people in Alberta feel as though they're kind of like Albertans are suppressed by the rest of the government, mainly because their biggest thing has to do with oil and gas, and so I feel like if they were to fight for more oil, gas stuff to be opened up in Alberta, I feel like a lot of that fight for separatists would be a lot of that would actually diminish, and they would actually agree with that more.
Is this an idea that has some traction?
It has some traction. I wouldn't say too much. I would say like a third or less even have an opinion on it.
Okay.
But of that third, there are definitely some people who agree, but also a lot that disagree. I haven't dived too deep into what their opinions are in specifics, but yeah.
And you personally, what do you make of this movement? And if like there's a referendum, would you vote for Alberta to leave Canada?
I'm not that educated, but I would look into how it would be run if it was separated, because my main concerns are like social programs to how the government would be ran. Would it be a republic? Would it not be? Yeah.
As we saw, this is all very interesting stuff. And we are just at the beginning of this independence campaign, one that I am dedicated to continuing covering for you guys, because I believe that something this unprecedented requires objective, independent journalism that isn't biased, that doesn't have a clear agenda against or for one side. And that's what I'm here for, to bring you the truth. So if you agree with me, then make sure you subscribe, comment your thoughts out below, you like this video, share it, and consider getting a paid channel membership for less than $5 a month, because these trips are expensive. This trip alone is going to cost around $1,500, and our future trips will cost about the same price. So if you want to support us, then that's the way to do it. There's also a link to a donation form below. Thank you so much, and God bless.